G'day, it's Jordan Lockyer here for the...
Put some mayo on it.
Great mark by Lockyer.
A real unit to go with it, a real tough nut.
Mayo sends it straight
Come on, mate. Are you? Are you going to play on anyone?
With it, real tough nut, a real unit.
Stop playing like millionaires.
G'day, it's Jordan Lockyer here for the...
Mayo sends it.
Hello and welcome back to Lox's Mayo, the highly anticipated second coming. Well, it's here. That's right, after about 8 weeks in the Magoos, Boom Radio has finally picked us for a second gig. So naturally we're going to be doing everything we possibly can to stay as a regular fixture in your ears for the rest of season 2022. There's been plenty of changes, happenings and events that have gone on in the last few weeks, so we've got a great show in store for you. We've got some very official game reviews, debutants galore, suspensions, injuries, more COVID chat, that's going to be great, and an interview with the former AFL time trial king who's got the blonde locks flying for Subiaco this season. Joining me today is a laid in for the show, and he's a man who captured Subiaco fans' hearts last season with his family fan club and frantic pressure in the forward line. Famous within the four walls for being the BYO king. This man bought 150 lashes six-pack to the silent disco last year before leaving at 10 p.m. Nonetheless, he's a very popular member of the club and a great man. Welcome, Josh Robbins.
Wow, thank you for having me. What an intro, by the way. I'm honoured to be here in a special edition of Lox's Mayo.
Yeah, mate. Well, straight away, episode 2, Lox is out. Any reasons why, you reckon?
Mate, I don't know what's happened. I think he's pulled a heartstring. That's the rumour going around the club at the moment. But round 2 or episode 2, it's a bit of an early admission.
Early exit for someone whose name is in the title. So it's Lox's Mayo minus Lox plus Robbo tonight.
Josh's Mayo.
Mate, results from weeks gone by. We might fill the fans in case you haven't been following. We'll get to round 1, and obviously for the league side, it's not the best start for the season, is it, mate?
No, not at all.
0-2, so we'll start in round 1, and Souths did us by 8 points, mate, at Subiaco over the unveiling of the flag, as it was, the premiership rematch, and we lost 6-11-47 to Souths 8-7-55, mate. We did have 8 debutants, though, namely Corey Robinson, Noah Ash, Jake Sturgio, Connor Ferrone, Matt LaFontaine, Abe Clinch, Bailey Holt, and our man today, Steph Giro. What do you think of the game, mate?
Great effort from the boys. Obviously had a pretty depleted squad based on COVID and injuries and whatnot, but I feel like we put in a pretty solid effort, but unfortunately couldn't get the chockies in.
Yeah, I mean, that seemed to be the most of the chat after the game. Well, I don't want to talk about what was said inside the four wall too much, but we're pretty proud with the spirit that was showed.
Yeah,
in round 1, mate.
Yeah, for sure. It was what it was on the day, but considering the circumstances and the build up to the game as well. I mean, the pracky matches that we had, we all felt like it was a gradual increase, I guess, over time, and we tried to do as best as we could on the day, but it didn't pay off. But
South's just a little bit too classy there.
Yeah.
The goals, Sokol kicked 2, Noah Ash 1 on debut, Ryan Bouchette, Geordie Ferrone and Corey Robbo got his career off to an ideal start, mate. Didn't he kick his first snag, first game within 3 minutes?
Yeah. He was a laid in as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So I think it was Drury Road and Hendo went out and Cos Robinson came in and fitted in perfectly. So
mate, it's a dream start.
Literally.
Genuine.
Mate, it must be nice. Must be very nice.
Mate, I remember my debut, just run around. Horse wouldn't kick me the footy. Couldn't get a sniff till really late. But so that was a dream from Corey. Yeah. Mate, the best from the Subi website. So, I mean, Zachy Acott, the media man, has got my good mate Matt Paddock down to do a lot of journalism work this year for the footy club. So this is all Matthew's opinion. So don't put this on Lox's Mayo podcast. The best from round 1, Lockie Delahunty, Lee Kitchen, Angus Dewar, Aaron Hill, Connor Ferrone, Matt LaFontaine. And then Joshy Rob, got your stats for the day, mate. 11 touches on a high half forward, 4 tackles and 4 frees 4, mate. In the thick of it.
Yeah, no, actually wasn't high half forward. I played wing at round 1.
Oh,
so
sorry,
yeah.
mate. Yeah, I clearly wasn't watching.
No, but funnily enough, do all pre-season on the half forward,
true.
And then the circumstances persist, and then played on the wing. So not going to lie, I was a bit rocked the whole time, looking around, finding my positioning and whatnot.
That's pretty standard for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. So 6 months of doing that, and then move to another
and
position.
Just doing a different spot.
Big overthinker as well, but just happy to be in the team.
Did you need a bit more? You're big on the mindfulness. Did you need a bit more going into that?
Yeah, a bit of breath work here and there.
Wim Hof breathing,
yeah. Cut out the noise. Channel 7 were there. It doesn't matter. You just got to focus in on your game,
mate. Oh,
Yeah.
I know a few of the two. Well, I was obviously on the sidelines. I know a few of the boys in the background were trying to get in the back of Xavier Ellis's shot and stuff like that. When there's Channel 7 a waffle game, mate, it goes unbelievable.
Changes the dynamic, doesn't it?
Oh, it does, mate. The Magoos round 1. Did you want to get through that?
Yeah, no. So, a bit unfortunate from the boys in round 1, but we'll get into it later. They obviously bounced back last week, but yeah, it was a pretty tough outing. Defeated by 57 points at the hands of the Doggies. The 5 Colts players, Jack Gouge, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Mitch Hassett, James McGuinness, Rory Morrison and Ryan Newick were our Rezzies debutants, which was awesome. So good to get a bit of exposure from the boys and a little bit of taste of senior footy. But yeah, obviously couldn't get the chockies, which was a bit unfortunate. But the bests there were LV, Lockie Van Ursen, Jakey South and Jamin Alone in his first outing. So yeah, there's the recap of round 1 from the senior squad.
Yeah, mate. And like on top of those Colties that got a gig, there were a lot throughout the squad, mate. So I think it was just it's going to be one of those years where as weeks come and go, mate, people are going to come in with COVID and float out as well. So we had a lot of new faces there, and Souths had Kelly and Cam McCarthy rolling through the forward line. They were pretty classy.
Yeah, exactly.
Not much a junior backline coach like myself could really do on the day for that one.
There we go. Can you actually touch on that a little bit? Because what's happening to you at the moment, mate? You want to give the supporters a bit of insight?
Yeah, in case anyone missed my average mullet and 10 touches a game in the first 2 games of the season. Yeah, I blew my knee out probably 6-8 weeks ago now in our first intra-club. So literally 2 minutes in, I was just wrestling in the ruck and blew out on me again. So, yeah, obviously very disappointing not to be out there for the season, mate. But, not a great day looking back. I've relived it a lot, but, it wasn't great. I knew straight away as well.
You did. I remember coming up to you. Yeah. As you were heading towards the showers, because it was after the intra-club, and you were on the crutches and family was coming.
I was in a state, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for looking after me there with the crutches and the shower as well. That was shit house, really.
Mate.
But no, mate, as soon as I did it, it just blew out and I knew straight. I was more upset than in pain, really, kind of. Yeah. And the physio came out, Phoebes, the physio came out and she kind of said, she was like, oh, no, we'll go downstairs, we'll look at it, we'll look in there. And I was just like, I was probably a bit rude. I was like, oh, piss off. Like, I know I've done it, mate.
Poor Phoebes, eh?
Yeah, poor Phoebes, copped the brute. 11 months of that to go for her, so that's good. Yeah, mate, so I had the op done, went to a new surgeon this time. He got the metal out of me. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, do you want to go into that just quickly?
We let her... I think we can mention. Yeah,
just quickly, just touch.
We'll touch on it. I mean, the last surgeon, I think, we'll say what actually happened. He actually butchered the op, kind of. The ACL was fine, and everything that he did structurally was fine. But as he's drilling up, to get a new ACL, you need to drill through the bottom of your knee and like create a tuft, as our guest Steph would know, to having done a knee. So it's a big drilling through your fucking. Can we cut that bit? Big drilling through your tunnel there, mate, and. As he's drilling up with the drill bit, at the end of the drill bit popped off, and so he couldn't find it in the knee. Obviously, you can only look between the bones. He couldn't find it within the knee, and then kind of obviously finished the op. And I was on drugs overnight, stayed in hospital, and I wasn't expecting to see the surgeon the next morning. And he kind of rolled in, slicked back hair, had the suit on, looking really nice. And he's sort of like, "Oh, hey mate, how are you?" And I was like, "What are you doing in here?" Like. I was on that many drugs, I had no idea what was going on. And he's rolled in and he's like, "Look, little mishap with the operation, mate. The drill bit, we think it's in your femur somewhere." And I went, "Oh, okay." And I kind of didn't know what was going on. He's like, "We're going to wheel you in for an x-ray so we can find it." And I just kind of didn't know what was happening. I text Mum, she was fuming, like, I wanted to sue the bloke straight away. I was like, "Calm down, But no, we got the x-ray and basically this little drill bit, which is probably about just 1.5 centimetres, has been stuck in my femur for the last 18 months, mate. So, once they found it on the X-ray, they realised they couldn't get it out because you need another operation, and we didn't really want to do that. So, we left it in there, mate, and it actually meant we couldn't get any MRIs on it. Like, MRI.
That was the issue, wasn't it? Yeah, because it wouldn't function correctly.
I just ruined the machine, mate, because the MRI is like a magnet, and a bit of metal in there is distorting the image. So. Full credit to Ross Raddick, the surgeon I had this time. He basically did a blind ACL, mate. He didn't know going in this time 8 weeks ago. We didn't know what was completely wrong with it. We assumed an ACL and a torn meniscus as well. But full props to him. He got it out, and away we go. I might make it into a necklace or something going forward, mate.
That is wild, mate. Wild story.
Yes. Anyway, so I've plenty more time to devote to the podcast this year.
Yeah, exactly. And so obviously that's taken you out on field. What are you doing off field with the club at the moment, young man?
Oh, I'm kind of alluded to it earlier, mate. Coaching the backs in the twos, mate, which might be a bit stupid from Bowie because I haven't defended a bloke in my life. But I'm coaching him nonetheless. I actually don't think it's a bad idea because I think it's kind of the inverse of being a forward. So
Yeah.
it's a good little challenge and get to know the boys down there. So it's
Yeah.
good, mate. Keeps me involved. Otherwise, it'd be bloody hard to come down.
Yeah, did
every
a bit of forwards with the league last week.
I did,
as well,
mate.
Didn't you?
Not
Yeah.
that successfully as we'll get to in a minute.
He's
But
everywhere.
trying to help out, mate, as the coaches go down with COVID as well. So you mentioned it. We'll get to the league in round 2. It was obviously a disappointing day for the side on Saturday just gone, losing 13-11-89 to 11-8-74 to Claremont. The goals went 3 to Sokol, 5 for the year. Nice start for him. 2 to Borchett, 2 to Corey Robinson, 1 to Bremen, Cody Eaton on debut, Steph Giraud, and Jake Sturgio, who we'll get to in a second. The best was Jake Sturgio, Aaron Hill, Benny Sokol, and Aaron Bremen as well. And unfortunately, Matty LaFontaine looks like he's suffered a lower leg injury, mate. Have you got anything on that?
No insight. I believe it's something related to the ankles. So I think he's getting scans today, so we might be able to find out sooner rather than later. But yeah, it did not look.
Were you
good on that
aware?
front.
Were you aware of the chaos on the bench, mate, when he
No,
came off?
no.
So he came off, and someone was like, "Can someone please drive him to the hospital? He needs to get a scan."
Yeah.
So Jacob Atkinson
I
put
did
his
hear
hand
about
up,
this,
mate,
yeah.
and he drove him to the hospital. And then they're back an hour later. I was like, "Shit, that was quick." And he
God.
just goes, "Yeah, mate, they didn't let him in. He was day 14." So
Really?
Yeah. So you have to be day 15 apparently to go into hospital.
Oh gosh.
So the poor bloke, he's
Even
in that
with the
much
state
pain.
of his
Mate,
ankle.
he was screaming in pain, and
Oh,
they've
that's
turned him
stiff.
back. So
Jeepers.
rough for poor Matty. But
La la.
hopefully he sticks around in rehab with me this year, and we can be out there better than ever next year, mate.
Exactly.
But the summary for the game, we narrowed the margin a couple times, mate. You didn't play, you're out with the calf, obviously, but
Yeah.
we narrowed the margin a couple of times, late in the third, early in the fourth. But I just think Claremont were a bit too classy on the day, mate, and efficient going forward. What do you think?
Yeah, no, you've pretty much nailed it on the head there. I think, yeah, obviously we've just come off the track, or most of the boys have, Tuesday night, and I guess reinforced our game plan and what we know that wasn't our best, and we know that we can bring it. The good thing, I guess, is that it's only round 2 and there's time to build. So, yeah, we're looking to do that and hopefully bounce back this week.
Straight back in for you, mate?
We'll see. Yeah, calf strain at the moment, so grade 1. But yeah, hopefully if we tick all the boxes this week, who knows? Could be available for selection. But
really straight down the line, aren't you? There?
Available for selection,
Straight
mate.
bat for everything.
Nah, we'll see.
Very
We'll
good.
see. But there's bigger fish to fry for sure. So
Yeah, very good. So Cody Eaton as well, mate, as we mentioned before. He showed a bit on debut, mate, rolling between centre half forward and the ruck. He had 16 hit-outs, a sausage, and a lot of athleticism as well, mate. This
Mate,
guy's a freak.
he is a genuine freak. I think he got runner-up in the District B&F
Yeah,
last year for A-grade ammos.
Wow.
TA's boy, and he has bunnies. He can. You
Mate.
heard it here first. He can jump. Like, he literally double jumps in packs. He's
Ridiculous, mate.
He is ridiculous.
Makes me really jealous
Yeah.
as I'm clutching a knee
Abs-
on the sideline. Trying to
Absolutely.
turn a corner. Nah, there's a lot of promise with Cody, so keep an eye out, Subi fans, with him. Jakey Sturgio, mate, got named the best. He was awesome.
Yep.
With his nude nut running off half-back flank.
Mate, he was phenomenal as well against his ex-club as well. So
You
again,
too, mate. You can-
yeah, me too. But he didn't play. But Sturge, he was very impressive. Again, he was one who had his preseason on the wing and then moved to the half back
Yeah.
and played a role and filled a void pretty well. So his pace,
Mate, he's that
good
quick.
kick.
How quick is he?
mate, he just
Lovely kick.
he was so impressive. So
Neat goatee,
yeah,
shaved head.
yeah, he's got it all at the moment, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
well, wow. When
Yeah.
you're playing well, mate, it all just doesn't fall
Him
into
and
line,
Lala,
does
when
it?
they were in the back line, it was the bold assassins.
It was
so,
Chaffee and Ablett were rolling down there, wasn't it? Far out. Anyway, mate. So the twos. Obviously, I was jumped in as a forwards this coach this week, and clearly it worked because Claremont, we beat them 3-3-21 to 17-12, 114. So, yeah, little insight. Basically the whole coaching panel was wiped out last week with COVID, mate.
Yes,
so at
yes.
some stage, don't get me wrong, I was thinking I'm going to roll from being a backs coach one week to coaching the boys the next week.
You knew you'd get the call up.
Wow,
to go
I didn't
elsewhere.
actually coach the boys in the end. They got Chase Creedy up to do the double stint, Colts and Lee,
Wow.
head coach for the twos as well. And
There
then
you go.
Rumba back, fan favourite for the backs.
Oh, mate.
Shuffled me across the forward line.
How good.
And Daniel Vidovic was doing the mids as well, mate.
The man. The
Functioned
man.
all right. Yeah, he's a great man, isn't he? So goals, 3 to Geordie Farone, as we knew he'd sneak a couple in there. Jackie Borshett got 3 as well. 2 to Richie Farmer. And then 1 apiece to Connor Patterson, Sandon Page, Jaden Crane, Lockie Davis, Jake South, Levi Young on debut. Did you see him?
Yes, big boy.
206 centimetres.
Big boy, I'll
What
tell
a
you.
big
Basketball
unit.
background, I believe.
Yeah, everyone's got a basketball background, mate.
Might know Pendles.
anyone who shows a little bit of time and space, basketball background straight away.
Yeah.
Levi was very impressive, actually, for a big fella. Lockie McKay kicked 1, Trey Kennedy and Jack Quartermain as well. The best, mate. You got that there?
Yeah, the best. Jamin Alone again coming in. Trey Kennedy, Jack Borchett with a couple saucies, Jacko McGowan and Lockie Van Ersen again. So pretty good performance all around by the twos boys.
Yeah, it was pretty even, mate. We were pretty happy with it. A bit to work on. Claremont did have a lot out, as was reported, but you still got to get the job done, mate. So
Exactly.
1-1 for the Magoos so far
Well
this
done, boys.
season, mate. Mate, the spicy cough, COVID. You've had it, have you?
I have. I was actually one of the first at the club.
Oh, really?
But I think I'm at that gap where
Exclusive.
I didn't give it to everyone, but I was one of the first. So, you know, it's not my fault, but I'm happy that I've got it out the way, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So,
true.
Yeah, I had mine. Mate, I barely had any symptoms, to be fair. I was very lucky. I had a little dry throat on the Thursday before training, and then I was like, yep, I'll do the last test in the house, and it came back positive, and I was going,
Oh, no.
what? And didn't even have a bad day or anything. I was flukishly good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had the spicy cough, and now it's slowly taking its toll on everyone.
It is, mate.
And what about yourself? You had it
I have had
similar
it.
time as
Yeah,
the
mate,
knee.
I did me knee, and then a week later got the spicy cough. So
What a week for the ages.
when it rains, it pours, mate.
they say.
I was the same. I didn't feel a thing. My old man was coughing and really carrying on in the front lounge room, and I thought, I better get tested here just in case. And
Yeah.
didn't feel a thing, but was positive. So
Yeah.
I just some people are built different, probably, aren't they?
Yeah, so we're both legends. That's probably it. Yeah.
fit legends. So, mate, yeah,
Not,
spicy cough.
not locks, by the way. There's legends and then there's locks.
Legends, there's a lot. And 8, I mean, his bedtime's early. That's probably why I can't do tonight. But no, mate, spicy cough, and it's jumping through the team as well, mate, as it would
Yeah.
at any club. But I think we've got most of the boys out of the way.
Yep. I think Phoebe said it's about 70%
No, mate,
of the squad
laughing.
have got it. So, yeah, hopefully
Nearly there.
upwards from here.
Now, mate, give the Subi fans an insight. What do you do off the field? I know there's the ambition to be a lawyer or something. You're always studying. You're never hanging around the boys.
Yeah. So, I'm doing a double degree at Curtin University, doing economics and law. I'm in my 5th and final year, so it's pretty hectic, as you can imagine, as we've talked about many times. But yeah, so that basically means I'm just studying 90% of the time, and everybody's working, full day jobs, and I'm there coming to train and going, yep, just studied, and yeah, not much small chat going around, but got to be honest. So yeah, I'm doing that at the moment, and
How's it going?
it's going all right.
Last year?
Yeah, last year. So getting the experience at different firms and
Yep.
whatnot. So it's interesting. It's given me a taste of the profession in itself, and basically seeing whether I want to do it or not. So
Yeah. And you keen on it?
oh, so far I think there's there's some good signs in there for sure. That sounds like I'm lying.
He's straight
but
batting everything.
no.
I got him on as a guest, Zachy, and he's straight batting
I
everything.
am dead set. I enjoy
You
what
enjoy
I'm
it?
doing
Good,
at the
that's good,
moment.
mate.
And yeah, for sure.
Very good, mate. And then maybe one day you can sponsor some of the boys. The Subi sponsor. I know
Oh,
we're
who
plugging that
knows?
later.
Who
Sponsor
knows,
the boys,
mate?
No, you probably sponsor yourself. That's probably fair.
That is just not true, but yeah.
All right, mate. Obviously, Subi fans are keen to know who's in and who's out and who's close to coming back. I'll stick away from who's got COVID and who hasn't because, as we've said, mate,
It's pretty confusing at the
a
moment.
lot of the group has it and
Yeah.
has had it. So
Yeah.
we'll get the injuries. Harry Marsh obviously hasn't been out there so far this season. He's had a little hernia removed. I think 2 over the off season
Yeah,
removed.
yeah.
For Marshy, so he's due back in round 5, and I have heard he'll be back in for round 5. Absolutely. Jacob Atkinson, the man mountain himself, he's about a month away with a knee. I think it was a
The madman.
spring footy incident or something. in the
Yes,
off-season,
yes.
and
Very
slow
unfortunate.
surgery. But Atco, he's got muscles on muscles, so
Exactly.
He'll be right,
He's
mate.
bound
He'll
to
be
tear
fine.
one of them.
Yeah, he's very athletic.
Yeah.
Browdy, he's got a little foot issue. Hopefully a couple of weeks for Browdy. Maxi Walters is due back after he gets rid of the COVID. He was coming back with a spicy cough.
Yep, and his wrist,
Sorry, with
obviously.
a wrist last week, sorry.
Yep.
And then little shout out to young Brycey McDonald, who's coming off a knee. He's nearly getting the 12-month mark. So he's a big centre-half forward ruckman coming up from the Colts. So he's been working hard in the gym with his knee, mate. And
he's just had COVID as well. So
yeah, he has.
There's another one. But yeah, no, I did a rehab session with him on Monday, and he's in ripping form at the moment. So
and a little rumour mill. We mentioned last potty that Kobe Fulgrave was done and dusted for the year with a knee. Little rumour mill going around, mate. He might be trying to make his return this year.
That's huge. Is that a truie?
From the horse's mouth, mate.
Wow, there you go. That would be that could be the big brackets. He's number 11. He's 11.
Yeah,
number 11.
So
and that's very exciting.
Yeah, so I think to get back, he'll have to be bang on 9 months. So he's really running the tightrope, but. Best of luck to Cobb as he attacks the rehab. Mate, the state team came out.
Yeah,
Was it last week?
Shocked I didn't get in, to be honest. I mean, 6 league games
4
so
4
far.
in round 1. Wow,
and 11 touches. Like,
Jesus.
I just played on the wing.
Hadn't played there before, mate.
I was very shocked. I'm not going to lie. All the boys got their letters and whatnot, and I was
You was waiting for an email?
Email, and then I came to the club, looked in my locker, nothing at all.
Yeah,
so,
me neither, mate. Really strange.
Very shocked, but I'll probably forward that to the higher ups and see what can happen there. But but the state team. So do you want to list them off?
Yeah, mate, I'll get through them. Angus Duar, of course, an Eagles player now. Steph Giro, likewise. Jaddy Harris has been selected in the squad. They're all in the squad. Sorry, it's not the initial team. It is the squad at the moment. Jaddy Harris on a wing. Kid Ali Kitchen, of course. Benny Sokol as well up forward. And Lachlan Delahunty as well. And now the interesting thing, mate, when they listed these players, I'm not sure if you looked online, but they listed potential positions as well.
Right.
So for Gussie, it was, halfback flank, Steph, middle, Chatty on the wing. Della's listed as a forward ruck.
A forward ruck?
Yeah.
Della.
Which is interesting because I can't remember the last time Diesel played forward.
Lucky Delahunty, forward ruck.
I think that's what Freo signed him off as.
Yeah,
top
wow.
As a forward. So Diesel run around centre-half forward, see how he goes.
There you go.
Interesting little one as well. Bowie Wardman, the league coach, is coaching the mids for the state team. So
great choice.
Steph, consider yourself a lock for that team. Any Subi midfielders rolling through. Absolute lock. And the off-field team as well will be Subi. So all the physio, Phoebe Freeman, S&C team, the trainers, they're all from Subi this year, mate. So
how good.
Nice little exposure for the footy club, and
absolutely
good luck to the state team for getting any rubs. Maddie's pretty hard on getting rubs out of Mads, so good luck. You might have tight cars, Steph, on the day. So anyway, mate. So anyway, shall we get our guest up?
We'll get the guest in.
All right, welcome back, Steph. Welcome to the show, mate.
Good to be here, mate.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Stiffy.
Cheers.
Pleasure. Steve Giro.
Steve.
How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are
Good.
you?
Fresh off 2 best on grounds.
Not
First 2
quite.
rounds. Voted by the fans. That's good. Get the fans on your side early.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've got a big family at home, so I don't know if it's just the family just getting on the Facebook and just vote me, but take it, I guess.
All right. Quick intro for our guest today. He's originally from the Hope Valley, which is a northern suburb in Adelaide. Steph Giro played for Norwood in the South Australian National Football League, where he was awarded the MVP for the Sandford Under-18 comp in 2016. He was selected by Freo with the 21st pick in the 2017 rookie draft before playing 4 seasons at Fremantle. Fortunately for us, he is at Subiaco this year. Steph, welcome.
Thank you.
Mate, we'll roll you all the way back to your draft year. Talk us through getting drafted, mate. What was it like moving over to WA, stepping up to the next level?
Yeah.
Run us through, mate.
Yeah, so in my draft year, I played all my footy with Nord, so in Sandford. Played mainly resis. It's a bit different here. I feel like if you play here, like in SA, you play Colts, and if you play well in the Colts, you play resis. If you play well in the resis, you pretty much play league. So,
Yeah, right.
So yeah, played a lot of resis footy for Nord. Played a bit of state footy too. And then was lucky enough to get picked in the rookie draft to Freo. So that was a bit of a whirlwind. Pretty much within, got up at, the draft was at 6 p.m, went to sleep. Well, had mates over and stuff, and then was up at 6 a.m. ready to go the next day. So
That's
it was
crazy.
pretty,
Huge, mate.
yeah, a bit of a whirlwind. But
Did you know Freo were interested, mate? You knew you were a sniff there, or?
Yeah, so I had 5 clubs interested, and they were probably the one that I kind of thought were most keen. I actually thought I was going to most likely be at Adelaide.
Yeah, the hometown, mate.
But yeah, so worked out that way. And to be honest, I'm stoked. Like, I love living in WA.
Yeah, nice.
Made so many good mates
Good
so
plug.
far, and yeah, it's been really good.
Nice plug for McGowan there. So, mate, you said on the Bird the next morning. Quick turnaround.
Yeah, really quick.
Wow, straight into it.
Yeah, didn't get much time to process it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, pretty much was at the club doing all my screening the next day, and then the day after that I was training. So
Yeah, wow.
it was full on. Like, we had 10 guys drafted that year, and I was the last guy, and so there were 2 in the rookie draft. One was already in WA, and so I was the last guy to get there, and they pretty much didn't have a house for me to stay in. So I was real laid in, like, had to literally go buy, like, pillows for, like, to sleep at, like, one of the boys' houses. So,
Yeah, wow.
yeah, it was bit of a whirlwind.
Yeah,
It
mate, I was much
unreal.
the same.
Yeah.
Like over the next morning, 5:30 a.m.
Yeah.
and barely had a bed for me. Like I was sleeping in the player development manager's bed.
Yeah, I was kind of similar, but yeah,
Yeah.
it was a bit strange.
They rolled out the red carpet for you, didn't they, Josh?
yeah,
Prize
they
recruit.
gave me a place to stay and everything like that. So yeah, no, very lucky.
Beautiful.
Oh well, that must be really nice then. So, mate, the first few weeks of the level, how'd you step up to it? Was there any adjustment period where you just think I'm way out of my depth here, or how'd you thought you were up to it?
I was pretty much chucked into full training straight away.
Yep.
So during training, you kind of, the way we did it at that time, it was a lot of running work first before we actually get into drills.
Yep.
And I guess that sort of suited me because that's been something I've been good at for a while now, is running. So I kind of slotted in with that real quick, and then as we built into training, I kind of built confidence up that way.
Yep.
But yeah, there were times you go out in the training track and you see guys like Fifey and you're like, gee whiz, like,
Yeah, gee.
he's massive. So
Specimen.
yeah, there's times like that you have that, but then you have your good days as well. So
Yep.
I felt like when I got there, it took a bit of adjusting, but once I was in, I felt comfortable.
Well, you mentioned you're running briefly, mate. Have I got the year right? 2019 was when you won the time trial?
Yep.
Right,
One
so
of
the title, one of the many.
One of several.
The title from the AFL website, November 2019, Hill, pipped by Fremantle's new time trial king. Stefan Giro, pips Bradley Hill in Docker's latest time trial. Mate, that's a massive dub.
Oh, I don't know.
He's a good runner, Hilly.
Yeah, November specialist, I reckon I am. But, yeah, so-
Pre-season hero.
Friend of the show,
Yeah.
Jordan Lockyer, much the same, actually.
Yeah. so,
November specialist.
I guess it's something I've always prided myself on, and
Yep.
sort of like comes out of my game, I think.
Okay.
Which is the work rate. So, yeah, it's good to
Got a
good to
dub.
be
Well, as the
like that.
article continued, Giro said having former Hawk behind him spurred the South Australian along the whole way. Quote, it helps having Bradley behind me, just pushing me the whole way. I could hear him the whole time, so it was good to have him as motivation to finish out in front.
I don't know if
Imagine
I
that.
said
That's just like a backhanded pot at Brad.
I really don't know.
Thanks
if
for
I said
thanks
that.
for setting the tone, Hilly. Like, I'll just take it from here.
I did not say that.
Mate, that's a dead set quote.
So what
from
could you,
Freo.com.
when you say you could hear him, was it just him breathing or like, what
Mate,
was it?
I don't remember, if I'm honest. Like,
Oh, 2019, it's not that far, is
I have
it?
a feeling he's written that himself.
It sounds like you're on a high, mate, because Andy Bradshaw went on to say, like, I know Steph was really happy with the win. So it sounds
No,
like something
he
you were
didn't.
really
he
building up to, mate.
Nah, definitely not.
Nonetheless, mate, congrats on beating Healy. That's awesome.
Thanks, mate.
When you, sorry, I
you
might
go,
just butt in there. When you say like you pride yourself on your running and that, do you think it just, obviously you work like really hard for it? Does it? I don't know, it comes naturally, but do you like have like any technique or anything that you reckon is just different from others? Like,
No, I don't think I was actually like a good runner like when I was younger. So I was actually, mate, I was just a short, chubby kid. To be completely honest, like I was not athletic at all. It's probably
right.
something that I worked on over time, and just because I did it from a young age, I guess, it sort of just started to come eventually, and just trained hard, I guess. Like it's a
Just
cliche
kept
thing,
working
but
on it.
like
Yeah,
it's probably
yeah.
something that is actually, I didn't have early days, but yeah.
Smart to not say it's natural.
Yeah,
She worked hard for every step.
Oh,
yeah, I
of
came
course.
first in all my school carnivals.
I'm just naturally really good. Like, nah, good to hear, mate. But mate, as we know, time trial kings always get a debut before long, and you made your debut in round 11 of the 2018 season, alongside Scotty Jones. How'd the game go, mate?
We got pumped by Collingwood.
Yeah.
Honestly, that day, like I felt like I was running around like a headless chook, if I'm honest.
Me on the wing, yep.
Yeah, I
Joshy
was
full stop.
played half forward. Got smashed by Collingwood. on the MCG.
Yeah, on the G though.
On the G.
How good.
Was lucky enough to kick a snag late.
Kick a sausage.
Yeah, I remember.
Which was good, but other than that, it was a good day, but also a bit of a day to forget.
Yeah, okay. So, mate, like, how'd you find out about the debut? Was Ross the coach at the time?
Ross was the coach.
How did the boss tell you?
Just brought us into like a team meeting. There were cameras around.
You knew.
Sort of had a inkling I would be a chance, but didn't like he didn't come up to me and say like, oh, you're a chance this week or anything. It was just all in the meeting, so I guess that was pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Like they normally play games these days, like kick a goal, you win your debut. Do you do anything cool? Or Ross, I can just see Ross just being straight
Ross
down the
was
line.
just like, he wasn't no games played, just get in there.
Get on the plane with us.
Yeah, exactly.
Any good
Pretty much.
sprays from Ross?
Yeah, I had a really good one actually. It's actually
Was it that first game?
nah, it actually wasn't. It was we were in Darwin. It was,
Darwin.
as you know, just cooking up there.
Yeah.
And
gosh.
the humidity was getting to me, I reckon.
Who you
in the
playing?
First quarter, Melbourne.
Oh yeah, they like playing games like that.
Yeah, so I was playing Melbourne. It was the first quarter, and then so I'm running to the bench for my rotation, and I'm kind of like running the wrong way. Like, I don't know what was going on. Like in my head, I thought the bench was somewhere else, and I'm like sort of like tracking the wrong way, and then they're all like screaming at me, and I'm like, oh my god, I've literally missed the bench. So I turn around, run to my interchange. Ross gets me on the phone. He's like, you didn't even know where the bench was. Like, how footy out there? Like, and just for probably a minute, just keeps going like, oh, you're gonna be playing school footy soon, mate.
Oh
Like,
no!
back to Colts footy or school footy, whatever he said. He's like, if you don't start picking up your act, like you're gonna be playing at Peel, all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, oh, can you pass the headphones to Darcy Tucker? I'm like, no worries, mate. Give it to Tux.
Good luck,
He
Tux.
just cops the same thing. Yeah, it was pretty brutal, but I liked Ross. He was a good coach.
Straight down the line, eh?
Yeah, he was.
I've heard he's like that.
Yeah.
Mate, did you get the classic phone call to mum and dad? Did they, obviously being South Australia, they go to the G as well? Watch your first game?
Yep. They went to the G. I've got a real big extended family.
Okay.
So Italian background. So dad's got 4 brothers. They've all got kids. So massive family. So
They all vote for best on ground.
yeah, they all vote for me.
Now I know what you're
I'm
talking
gonna
about.
have to tell them to stop, I reckon. But, yeah,
Keep rolling, mate.
yeah, so they all came along. A heap of my mates from school came along, so that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a massive crew there.
Yeah,
It was
nice.
Elite.
Good day. Mate, before the start of the 2019 season, you signed a 2-year contract extension. Very good. But unfortunately, it ended early, mate. You blew the knee out against Subi, actually, in round 8.
Yeah, it was against Subi.
Run us through that,
I've actually
mate.
done 2 knee injuries against Subi. One at a pracky, but then so I did the knee. That was sort of just was in the pocket going for the footy. I sort of just bounced the wrong way.
Yep.
And then just sudden change of direction like most of them are. And I was in denial, like got up, tried to run again, and just like pretty much fell to the ground.
Yeah, right.
What's going on
So
here?
no one, you can't blame any ex-Subi players?
No,
You can't just come
I
on the potty
actually
and
can't.
pot anyone, no? Oh,
For
flat.
one of them, Millsy, I remember Millsy come up to me when I got to the club, and he's like,
Yeah. Jacob
he was
Miller, of course,
Yeah, Jacob Miller.
Yeah.
And we were sort of talking about, he was just asking me, like, how you going? Just said, like, oh, you've had a few injuries or something like that. And he said, oh, I think one of them was actually because of me.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
And then he, like, was referring to when I did my MCO, he sort of tackled me and crunched my leg in him.
Right.
He's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, sorry, mate. Just walked
Oh,
off. He goes,
Dada. He's pretty strong Dada, though.
Yeah, he is.
Daddy.
But yeah, it was pretty weird situation. You're sort of in denial at
Yeah.
the start, and then sort of sinks in, and you just get to work on your rehab, really.
Oh, that was straight that answer.
I have a question for both of you. When you do, like, ACL and things like this, I've heard that it's like a excruciating pain for like 10 or so seconds, and then after that, like you said, you got up and tried to run again.
Yeah.
Like, is that what it's like?
Well, for me, I don't know what it was like for you, but it just locked up. So it wasn't. I didn't really feel pain. I just heard a really loud pop.
Right.
I remember even speaking to Greggy Clark. He said the same thing. He remembers the incident, and I don't know how far away he was, but he said he's like, yeah, I just heard the pop. Like,
Wow.
I remember the pop. It's just so loud. But yeah, you're probably just in shock that I didn't really feel the pain as much. But once you're trying to like extend your leg and it's just literally buckled, like you can't move it at all. That was sort of when something's going on here.
Yeah. Oh, mate, mine was much the same.
Yeah.
Like I was sort of running towards the wing with Matty Cottrell up me up my backside, and the kick sort of came a bit long, so I'm sort of just striding out, and as I'm striding, he's sort of giving me a nudge, and the whole thing's just buckled under. But mate, mine was much the same, like a huge pop. Like I was probably 30 metres from the bench, and the doc said at the time, he was like, "Nah, I heard it." Like, yeah, Timmy Barber, little shout out to Barbs. He's like a very good doctor in the AFL. I think he does most of the clinics for all the other AFL docs. He pretty much said straight away, by that sound, that's your ACL. So,
Jeepers.
yeah, like I didn't hurt as much. It was more just like out of body. Like it feels like your whole knee just like explodes and then comes back really quickly.
Right.
And then as soon as it started feeling good, I knew we were in some strife because like you hear all the stories, like it starts feeling good and sort of all went numb. And, and then he took me to we went in the rooms and he's doing all the knee tests and like, you know, Barbs, as I said, he's an excellent doctor, so he would pretty much know straight away. He's doing all the knee tests, all the Lockman's tests and all that, and he's like, I was like, mate, what is it? Like I was in a lot of pain, I just wanted to hear, and he's like, yeah, you've done your cruciate. And then just walks away. And like, there's 3 cruciates in your knee. And I was like, sorry, mate, which one was it? And he was just like, oh, no, you're anterior. And I was like, oh, well, that's great then. Thanks for that, Barbs.
Oh,
I don't know if that's the way to do it.
He didn't mean it. It was kind of, there was a lot going on for Barbs, and he was kind of just like, yeah, you've done your cruciate, and sort of just like went to get something. And anyway, well, not a great day, but anyway, mate, that's knee injuries, mate. So you rehabbed that at the Dockers?
Yeah. I was lucky. I feel like being at an AFL club at a young age, like it's sort of the best place to do your rehab. So I was pretty lucky in that sense. Worked really hard on my rehab and tried to get it right. Was working on it every day. There's so many exercises that you just hate doing, but you just get it done. And I was fortunate in that sense to be able to do it there.
Well, you can blame Millsy for all that, mate.
Cheers, mate.
2020 again, mate, injury plagued. Run us through it.
So that was the COVID year. So. In a sense, like early when the COVID lockdown, the AFL lockdown happened, sort of thought like that was a good opportunity for me because instead of coming back that season at round 11 or 12, I was scheduled to come back pretty much round 2 or 3.
Did you head back to South Australia during the break?
No.
No, you stayed here. With the missus?
Is this the lockdown?
Yeah. When
so the
AFL
lockdown,
break.
everyone had to stay.
Right, okay.
We all pretty much stayed and all tried to train together. And,
okay.
That's good.
Yeah, so we all stayed there. But I sort of looked at that as like, that's my last 3 months of my rehab. Like, let's just get that done, and then I'll come back earlier. So it looked good in a sense, like good out of a bad situation. But then come back for my last training session on the Gold Coast
in 2020.
Yeah. So that was when we were in the hub, and it was my last session that I had to tick off to play the next week, and then I did my syndesmosis that session.
What?
It's
far out.
a bit of tough luck, but it is what it is.
So you didn't get to play any of those like scrimmage games or anything that were going around?
Late in the year,
you
but
did?
they're like 8v8. Like,
They're awful.
just running around like
They were awful, mate. I hated them.
Yeah.
Was the hub nice though? At least.
Hub
Where'd you
was
stay?
good fun. Yeah. I think we stayed in the Marriott on Gold Coast.
On the Gold Coast?
Yeah. The Gold Coast, yeah.
We got really lucky. Simon Lethlane, the CEO, is very tight with Gil. And just went, hey, mate, can we go to Noosa where no one is and it's a 5-star resort? And Gil just goes, yeah, mate, no worries.
Pull the strings a bit?
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later I got cut. So that was good.
We went to Cairns after that as well, which was that was at the end of the season, and that was pretty bad.
Little food trip?
Yeah. I don't know. It didn't feel like that. I felt like because we weren't playing, but still, like, we weren't playing it. We just had nothing to do.
Yeah, right.
Stay in the hotel and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, far out.
It wasn't the best, but
horrendous. Well, 2021, mate, your last year at AFL level. We've got here your best game was in round 3 against Carlton. 20 touches of the pill, 8 marks, and a sausage roll. Yeah, you agree that was your best game, mate? Yeah. Building nicely into your...
And
what are you gonna say
88 fantasy points.
88, yeah.
I think we just want to know, what happened after that? What was
whack.
What was your feedback? What's because it was a pretty good game.
I thought I was stiff, I think, but I don't know. Lacking a bit of defensive pressure apparently. So,
what did you get dropped after that?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Crazy.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Was
really?
Longmuir the coach? No, we had no idea.
You idiots.
No, we're well researched.
But yes.
So you got dropped. Longmuir was the
Medi's
coach
up.
then.
Yeah.
What did he say? No good.
They sort of brought it up that probably. Not gonna lie, there were some things there, like some defensive stuff that I didn't do that well, but I did, as most people do when they think they have a good game, like you think you're pretty stiff. So what do you say? Like, you can't really hear a lot of it, but just made up and then didn't go on that game, and then had to do a training session straight after on Optus.
Oh yeah, the old
Yeah.
13k Szechuans
which
after the
hurts.
game.
Yeah, they hurt.
Yuck.
So.
I'm sure there was boys in your ear throughout the week as well, go like patting you on the back, telling you how well you
A few
played.
boys come up to me and were like,
Mate,
unreal, like, you played so well, mate. I'm like, yeah, cheers.
I'm safe here, boy.
I was
Thanks,
feeling
boys.
real
Just
good. Coming in on Monday, like, the thing is, we did lose. Like, we got smashed, and like,
Right.
so I was coming in and like knew that there was still a possibility I could be dropped, and there was guys coming back from injury.
Right.
But when my teammates were coming up to me and saying I was playing really well and they were really happy with how I'm going, a few of the older boys too, I kind of thought, oh well, I'm probably safe, but not to be.
and how'd the rest of the 2021 season go, mate?
It was probably my most challenging year of footy. Like, I struggled a little bit. Like, was obviously fighting for a spot, for this spot. So there's a bit of pressure there, but then had a few things going on with my body that I just couldn't really get over, I guess. And it was not necessarily holding me back, but it was just in my head. I was really playing on a bit, and then I was playing a bit of different positions as well. So
Yeah, that's hard, mate. Like injuries and then different spots and for form and trying to get
yeah,
feels like it all compounds, doesn't it?
yeah, and then you sort of just wonder, like, just was wondering what was going on, like what was going wrong.
Yeah.
You sort of, like you said before, you think you're a bit of an overthinker, mate. I'm exactly the same.
Yeah,
I can do
big
that all the
time.
time. So, so it wasn't my most enjoyable season of footy, that's for sure. But stoked that I'm here. And
Yeah, mate. Well, I was going to ask next, mate. How'd the exit interview go? They're pretty rough, aren't
yeah,
they?
they're pretty rough. And I sort of went in. My manager gave me the heads up. I sort of knew what was going on. And yeah, they're never easy. Like, they tell you and they start telling you all the feedback and all that kind of stuff, but you don't really hear it.
Weren't you in like a bit of form for Peel, like right towards the end of the season?
That
You were
was once I
saying.
got delisted.
Oh, so you already knew, and
Oh, really?
So
Yeah, so I got delisted.
Oh, they did that, didn't they? They
Yeah.
cut blokes like 5 rounds early or something. Yeah,
so
I remember
it was
that.
I played 3 games at the end for Peel. You could choose if you wanted to play.
I remember that. I could not
remember you
believe that.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah,
so-
yeah,
Were you
yeah.
I would have been filthy at that.
Yeah, I
to
was
be
sort of,
honest.
at the time I was like, this could be a chance for me to like just get back to enjoying my footy. So I just went into it. I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
I'm just going to go
Nothing to
play and
lose.
just have a bit of fun and not think about too much and just see how it goes. Not so much pressure, and I actually really enjoyed those 3 weeks because there were a few guys in the same position as me
Yeah, right.
that decided to play, and we were just like, let's just have a bit of fun here.
And you nearly stuffed up our 2021 season
Yeah,
as well.
that
mate,
was
in
Yeah,
the process.
that
Last
would've
round of
been
the year
last
last year.
round.
Yeah.
We didn't. Looking back, I don't think if we didn't win that game, we wouldn't have finished first.
Yeah.
We would have finished third or something. We wouldn't have
Changed.
had the week off. It changes everything, mate.
Whole
so
dynamic. Yeah.
Appreciate you just for enjoying yourself and not taking it too seriously. Might have got us a flag in the process. I remember that. Joshy and I, we played in the Magoos that day.
Yeah,
And we were driving back together. We just thought it was all over. Half time, 7 goals up or something. We turned the waffle off, put some music on,
Yeah.
and then you boys nearly cocked it up for us.
Yeah,
So
we had a good game. I think because Shep, that was his last game as
Yeah.
coach, and obviously a lot of the boys have good relationships with Shep. So
Right.
I think a few boys were really like having
Giving a
a
bit
crack
for
that
it.
day. And those last 3 games we played really well. So
yeah, right. Funny thing, when you
Yeah.
take away the pressure, you play a
Yeah.
bit better. And mate, from there, like search for a new club. Obviously, there's the thought to go home,
Yeah.
back to the Sandful, stay in the Waffle, or maybe even get an AFL lifeline. How'd that process all turn out?
Yeah, that was it was interesting because you go from sort of not being wanted, and then then it's like the choice is yours. Like you don't really actually get to. There's very, very rarely you get to choose where you go in footy. I guess so. That was sort of pretty cool. And then I trying to decide whether I'll go back to Adelaide, but it was still stressful as well because you're trying to find a new job. That was the hardest part, like
Yeah,
finding
true.
what I want to do next.
Yeah.
And then finding a club that suits me. And, glad I'm here.
And no doubt the misso being from WA
Yeah.
played a big role in staying here, mate.
Yeah, big role.
Big role.
Not gonna lie.
Big role.
Yeah, so to be honest, like her family are great for me. Like I love all her family,
Yeah.
and obviously love her. So
Nice,
it's
mate.
been
That is just a great plug. Very
Yeah.
cute.
Can we just clip
shout
that
out
and
to
put that in the
them.
intro, Jeff? for next
Yeah,
episode?
so it's
I love her. She loves me. It works well.
worked
Look at
well.
Lox's mate.
But yeah, it's been good. Been good.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. So Subi obviously reached out. How did we go about poaching you, mate? Bowie, we discovered last time on the potty that Bowie likes to jump in the Instagram DMs with boys. Is that the case with you, mate? No,
Definitely
didn't do a
wasn't
Jordan
in the-
Snadden. Okay,
It wasn't in the DMs, but it was. I think it started with Brandon Matera actually.
Yep.
So he sort of mentioned looking for a player like you. He sort of just mentioned it to me, and obviously from the outer, it looks like a great club to be at. So that was always going to be one of the clubs I wanted to potentially go to. So, but then I actually met with Dicko and Bo. They reached out, and they were in the middle of their grand final celebrations. You can tell they were hung for sure.
Bowie was best on ground. I'll be honest. Like,
Yeah,
it's
he
very
was.
rare, but like Bowie, like for a
That's all.
coach to be
Clinic.
best on ground,
Yeah.
genuine clinic. Greg
Yeah.
Clark clinic.
Yeah.
in the grand final.
Off-field.
Yeah, in an off-field role.
They were hung. Obviously, had a few, and then got off a bit of a PowerPoint and
The
The
whole
hung,
deal.
The old hung PowerPoint. Well, hey.
spoke through the role and all that kind of stuff and their standards, and it's all pretty evident, the standards
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way that the
Pretty
club plays.
professional.
It's pretty obvious. So chose to come here.
Yeah, mate. How have you enjoyed the transition? Josh, you feel free to jump in any questions.
Mate,
here,
I'm
mate,
just doing the
whatever you want.
casual, like the
Yeah,
nod
little
my
jump
head
in.
for the people watching at home. Go on. This is great.
How have you enjoyed the transition, Steph?
I'm loving it.
Yep.
At first, trying to find a job and all that kind
Yep.
of stuff was probably the thing that was a little bit stressful, knowing what I'm going to actually be doing every day. But coming to training with all the boys and all that stuff has been awesome. So I've loved every minute of it so far, and hopefully soon we can get some wins on the board.
Very good. And you mentioned the culture earlier. You're a fan of the culture of the football club?
100%. So that was one of the biggest things that I noticed, like hard work, all the boys buy into it, and obviously leads to success, as you
Yep.
can see. So
Just one question. You talk about what you're doing outside of footy. What you've obviously made up your mind. What are you doing at the moment, if you don't mind sharing with?
as in work.
For just work.
Yeah, so I'm at Murdoch Uni as a sports officer. So I'm actually working with Vito there, one of our coaches. So and our runner. So he's been really good. And I'm studying sports management, business and sports management on the side. So
Oof.
That's right. You tell
Just on the
people when they're
side.
getting
Yeah.
cut.
Little side piece.
Good.
I'm pretty busy, but enjoying it.
Oh, good, mate. And how have you assessed the first two games? Obviously not the start Subi fans would have wanted, nor the players or coaches, but have you seen the first two games, mate? Obviously from a personal perspective, you've been pretty good, and then the team as well, we've been a bit up and down, mate.
Yeah, well, there's still like even me personally, still a lot of things I've got to work on. And as a group, we've obviously looked at them pretty critically over the last couple of weeks. But I feel like the first game we had a lot of energy with all the new guys coming in, and then that sort of was transferred the other way with Claremont this week. So it's trying to just string it all together. There's a lot of new guys in. So it actually still does take a while to gel, even for me, like gelling with the new system and stuff. So it's been, a good transition, but we still got a bit of work to do, I think. So
Very good, straight, bad answer there, mate. I'll take you back a few weeks, mate. You're obviously one of the rare players to play for West Coast and Freo. One of the top-up players in that call-up against North, mate. Run us through how all that eventuated.
Mate, that was, it's pretty hectic. That was finding out that I was like going to be part of the contingency squad at first. Like you sort of think, the part of list of 20, probably not going to get used, but it's still cool recognition. To then training and then 5 days later actually playing, like it was crazy. It was very weird. It was so good that Gus was there too. That was awesome. But very weird situation, and it was kind of cool to be able to see the difference between the two clubs. So.
Obviously, it was really weird. I think did you train at Subi early in the week, and then on the Sunday you were playing at Marvel?
Yeah, so that because I trained the week before with West Coast, and then on the Tuesday they said, "Oh, you go back to your club and train there." So I'm like, oh, "Beauty, I'm done." Like, I won't be playing there. And then sort of on the Wednesday at work, they just called me and said, like, "How you fit?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Yeah, you're probably gonna get a chance to play." So
That was
just
crazy.
be ready. And then because I didn't have my third shot either, so I had to go.
Yeah,
I had
right.
to go rush and get my booster, and so I could actually get back in.
Oh, well, I think we're all pretty. I thought you played a pretty good role, mate.
Yeah,
on the
it
day.
was good.
Absolutely.
It was it would have been cool to win it.
Yeah.
think
sniff.
we all would have brought a bit of energy, so it was it was enjoyable.
Oh, very good, mate.
How did it feel compared to like when you were at Freo, like actually playing, like obviously different systems and whatnot, and like a year or so later, how did it actually feel being back out there?
Yeah, it was. It still felt very similar because I felt like our systems and especially the role I was playing was very similar to the one I played all last year.
Right.
So that made it really easy to transition into. So I pretty much played like a high half forward role, which is very similar. Pretty much every team they all have them. So it didn't feel any like different.
Simo
really,
give you
besides-
much?
We actually went to his place, to his house, like me, Gus, and stuff to speak about our roles before we were
Little
gonna
dinner,
play.
little team dinner.
It wasn't a dinner. It
Oh,
just
flat.
Another PowerPoint
couple
presentation.
Diet Cokes, couple Diet Cokes, and
Couple of times.
but yeah, that was about it, and just showed us the team and showed us where we're going to be playing. And
Okay.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, wow. Just like that.
Yeah.
I'm late.
Very good, mate. We got some questions from the fans. They've come in from far and wide.
Oh yeah.
They were very keen. Obviously, 8 weeks between shows, but plenty of time to line these up. And we didn't start lining them up till about yesterday. So, mate, just a question from the fans here. I'm not sure the answer, but why do you have Manuka honey stains on all of your T-shirts?
Where have you got this?
Mate, all
Lox's
anonymous.
Podcast,
All the
minus
fans.
Lox plus Robbo, we go deep.
Anonymous send-ins to our email. It was strange.
I don't know if I want to talk about it, but I'm happy to.
We can cut it.
No, I'm happy to talk about it, and you guys can decide if you want to keep it in. I had like a
Got a thumbs up from Zach.
a bad infection, like a rash, like a staph infection.
Yeah.
So which is gross. And it was on antibiotics to get rid of it. And the reason they're saying on my shirt's because it was under my armpit.
Oh, no.
So it was like on antibiotics, would have a whole pack, and then it would completely go away, and then within 2 days later, it'd come back even worse, and I just couldn't get rid of it, and I was real run down, and it was just a nightmare. And I was just finding different ways to like get rid of it, and I've heard the Manuka honey is like the key to.
You put it on your shirt.
No, not on my shirt. So
On
it's
under the armpits.
so obviously it didn't stain the shirt, so it's pretty strange for anyone to say that. But yeah, I actually like spread it like on my armpit and
Right.
went to sleep, which is gross. Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
But
infection, mate. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
And then it actually.
Were you
like,
with the misso at the time?
Well, this is when I was in Adelaide, so which is even crazier. Than,
like before you got
Oh, wow.
drafted?
yeah.
Jesus,
But,
this is deep
I
vault.
wonder who sent
No,
this in.
Wow,
It's
this
Manuka
anonymous
Crazy.
fan. Oh, my goodness.
And then within, I swear to you, like 3-4 days, it was completely gone and never come back.
Jeez.
So it
Just from
worked.
that, it worked.
Manuka honey.
Manuka
Yeah.
honey,
The
there you
ticket.
go.
So ever since then, if you're ever having a cup of tea, just chuck a bit in there. And it'll heal. It'll heal
Rub it
you,
all
so
over, yeah.
Rub it over you. if
Get
you
rid of
want,
it.
but,
Jeez.
Yeah,
Skincare routine.
there you go.
Very good, mate. World first on Lox's Mayo, minus Lox plus Robbo. Mate, what is your record for the longest amount of time you've left a coffee cup somewhere? I've seen 2 weeks and just wanted to know if you've trumped that before. That's from Anonymous as well.
Yeah.
I already know who all this is. cheers, Jarv.
Who?
But yeah, so yeah, I'll probably get caught with a few coffee cups on the way to work in the car, and then probably like 4 days later, like once there's a couple stacked up, I just chuck them in the bin, and there you go.
Yeah,
There you
right.
go. So not too long, mate. Not as long as they're saying.
So that's the story.
That's the story.
Come on, Jarvis. That's horrendous.
Yeah. Shit house, Jarv.
I like the Manuka. That was good.
Yeah.
I think this was you, Robbo. The next one.
Which one here?
The next one.
Oh yeah. How do you prepare your oats in the morning?
Definitely not with water. So I've heard a few things about this bloke. He gets before training like elite prep and all.
Oh.
This is from Anonymous too, by the way. I don't know why you're pointing at me. Yeah. Yeah.
But he reckons that like water and oats, like just for brekkie, is a good idea.
You're a
Like, without
moron.
milk.
You reckon that?
It's not just like
That's
the way you've
disgusting.
described it makes it sound disgusting.
And then
but
like I'm there like with bit of,
Milk.
bit of banana and a bit
Normal.
of milk.
Yeah.
so this was like the first words we said to each other. It was
Yeah.
a Saturday morning
Yeah,
pre-season
just met each
session,
other.
and I'm just going. You try to keep conversation in the conditioning
In the
segment of training,
Just
so
to
you
show
know-
how fit you are.
Oh, absolutely not.
I can chat while I'm doing this, Steph. Like,
Yeah, Steph, I'm a hero like you, mate.
I'm Troll King.
But yeah, no, I've been doing water and oats for a bit, and I thought I was the popular opinion, but I
So
was
mid 150s or whatever we're doing. at training.
MAS,
Yeah.
I reckon.
You,
Yeah,
How
MAS.
did you start? Like, you're like, oh, did you have oats for brekkie? Like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what are
This
you
is
having?
just-
Because I like to run with like an empty stomach,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
similar, yeah. And
Yeah.
so we were talking about what do you usually have in the morning, like before sessions like
Yeah,
this.
I
So
usually don't have the water though. Just
No.
a bit of milk.
Oh, real
Not too
good
much,
chat here.
but
This is
yeah.
awesome.
should we keep going on that? Because it's pretty
Water and
interesting.
oats. Yeah, can we go
Yeah.
deeper on that?
Yeah.
What do you reckon? That'll get the ratings up big time.
That's a great.
Oh, good to know
combo.
how Steph eats his oats, everyone.
Yeah.
Mate, a few of the fans have been wondering, when you get the ball, why do the boys call you Steve? What's going on there? How did
Steve.
this nickname come about, and what does it mean?
Steve.
Steve Gyro.
I don't know who Steve is, to be honest.
Neither. I saw him pop up once.
I saw him pop up for one day.
He was at the club for one day, and it wasn't even when we were training.
Yeah.
He was in like this Buzz Lightyear kit. It was so
Yeah,
strange.
And since like, yeah, I remember seeing him that day, but yeah, I haven't seen him since.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's a bit Nah, do you want me to actually tell a bit there?
Yeah, mate, give a bit, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Oh.
But
I don't know. This is anonymous again.
we'll talk about Steve.
Nah, I don't
sure.
know who Steve is. I don't know.
Oh, he's giving us nothing. I'll fill between the lines there. On the old team bonding day, we've obviously given Steph a few oats and waters, obviously, and another character has emerged, and he's been
call him
dubbed Steve
Steve.
Gyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I enjoyed Steve's company for the day. He was
Yeah.
Great quality.
he was
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
He
Steve
potted
comes
a
out
lot of
every now and
people, but then complimented a few as well.
Yeah.
So
Just like this podcast, Steve will return. You know, give him a few
Maybe,
weeks, give him a
maybe,
few months.
I
yeah.
thought I was really proactive with the younger boys that day, like getting them up and about.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
yeah, so a bit of team.
you're
morale.
pretty happy with your efforts,
Oh.
with Steve's efforts.
Yeah, it was-
Barometer there.
Speaking of Steve.
I thought
Yeah.
Steve was one of the best on, personally. One of the.
Yeah.
I won't reveal my votes for the day. I'm not sure that officially got through. You
Yeah.
put some votes in, didn't you?
Not sure. Don't remember. Well, Steve would have been number one. Oh, I did actually.
I
Yeah.
remember that was a good write-up.
Yeah, Steve was up there for sure.
Nonetheless,
Well done, Steve.
you got anything else, mate?
I do have a late send in. This one's not anonymous. It's just a straight up message from Lloyd Meek, big man at
Plug.
Fremantle Footy Club. He's just gone, I don't have a heap for you. He's a ripper. Just get into him for being a shit housemate, never doing dishes, having to re-wash dishes after him, etc.
Yeah.
It's just a big whack in the face. So I thought I'd just read it just as it is.
Yeah, well, I've got something on him. If like, have you ever seen like anyone grab like peanut butter, like a big spoon of it? I'm talking like a thick spoon, and like slab it on to your side of your plate with your dinner. Like just it's like part of your dinner. Have you ever seen that?
No.
At dinner.
Well, that's the big
Big
meat.
Lloyd, mate. Well, he's got to get the calories in somehow. The big
Big
fella.
It's hard to feed the
Full
big meat.
calories.
We call him the rat. Feast on the carcass. And peanut butter is his go-to. So goes through a tub every
Big
couple
Lloyd.
of days and
Slaps it on the dinner plate.
on the side of the bowl. So it's just like
So just with the spag bowl, he's got a bit of peanut butter.
Bit of peanut
Anything.
butter
He'll have it with anything.
there. Yeah, mate. Always dinner. Always dinner.
Jeez.
It's just on the side of the bowl, not in the food, just slabbed on.
Mate, no wonder the dishes were so hard to clean.
Yeah,
I'm with you
can't
here.
get it off.
Jesus.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, well, we've delved right into what players eat today with oats and peanut butter as well, so that's very good. Manuka honey as well for anyone.
Yeah.
They
Plenty
might,
of food
we might
chat.
get them as a sponsor, Manuka honey.
Yeah.
Cheat code.
Jeez, we've given them a
Apparently
really
sponsored
good plug
by.
today.
Yeah.
Speaking of sponsors, thanks to Boom Radio for putting this together. We've probably taken up most of their time on a Tuesday night. So thank you very much to Jev and the crew there. A little plug for the game this week. West Perth, it's a big, big match. Obviously, the league boys would like to get the first dub of the season under their belt. And a bit different boys with the structuring for the day. I believe first in the day we've got the Colties, followed by the women, which is the dress rehearsal game for the league. And then following the league are the reserves. So we've got a night game
Lads.
at the blinding lights of Leaderville Oval. So bring your binoculars out if you want to stick around for the twos. Yeah, mate, big game. Looking forward to it.
100%. Hopefully get the win.
Mm.
Fix a few of the things up. We trained hard tonight, that's for sure. So
Yeah, good.
we're ready to go.
Very good. Robbo straight back in.
Get
On
on
a high
Oh,
half forward.
we'll
Mate,
see, mate.
is your fan club going to be
Freeze
there
ball.
again?
Oh, well, if I'm in, we'll
Does
see.
your mum know
for
you play
sure.
for anymore or not? Can you tell that story or not?
Well, do we have time for it or? No,
No
we'll
time.
save it for another day.
No,
We'll save it
we
for
can
another
cut
day.
that bit anyway.
Yeah, we'll
so.
cut it.
No, thank you very much to Boom Radio, all the sponsors. Sponsor a player if you want this year. There's still a few going. So check on the website for all the deets there. You can sponsor a pair. I think, are you taken, Steph?
Not taken yet.
Not taken. Available.
Yeah.
Wow. Any takers out there? Manuka honey or oats, whatever we want. Robbo, you taken?
I am, yeah, Jarman Legal.
Wow,
Law
there you
firm.
go.
Yeah,
Law
yeah,
firm
there you
for the
go.
boys a bit. So,
Yeah.
very good, boys. All right, well, thanks for that, Steph. Thanks, Robbo, for filling in.
Yes, thank you, lads. It's been a pleasure.
Probably you might be available next one as well, mate.
Oh, we'll
The way the Locks
see.
is
I
going.
might have something on. We'll see.
Oh, you might be studying. All right, thank you very much, boys. Well done.
Thank you.
For more, head on over to our website, boomradio.com.au.